Hey guys, it's Tamesh here. Welcome to another episode of React Native. So yesterday we started building a slot machine game, built entirely in React Native. We got to the point when we have a set of rails. You can spin the rails, and that's about it. Today we're gonna continue working on this app and see where we get to it. Before I start, please, if you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, leave a like. That way, I know you like the content, and it gives me a little bit of extra motivation to do these videos. I don't really have a dream of being a YouTuber, but it's nice to be liked and stuff like that. All right, so what we're gonna try to achieve today is like after spinning the wheel, we're gonna basically evaluate the wheel, evaluate the results, and give a little bit of extra effect on the winning lines. So in this case, like 3 sevens here and there should win. The user should receive some sort of feedback that those are the winning lines. We're gonna clean up the code a little bit and expose a couple of methods for the future, but that is the plan. Good news, yesterday after shooting the first video, I talked to my designer and he actually agreed that this project might actually stand a chance in the App Store. So today he is working on an actual proper professional design for the app that should be done by tomorrow, if all goes well, and probably we're gonna spend tomorrow's episode to make a nice design around this. But yeah, let's get to it. So before I start, so let's clean things up here. I'm on master, so git checkout -b part 2 just to make sure everything is separated. I'm gonna push this code on GitHub to be public, so you will have access to it. I'm not doing it right now because the code is a mess and I'm not proud of it, but yeah, that is the plan. So let's get to it. First thing I want to highlight, and I kind of forgot it yesterday. So right now this really is 5x3, but as you remember, we did it. We used constants, so there is nothing stopping me to do it like 7x5, and it should just work. Wow. But let's get back to 5x3. Okay. First thing, I know we are waiting for the actual design, but I don't really like working with like ugly orange colors and stuff like that. So let's have a little bit of cleanup. Let's get rid of background color purple and stuff like that. Let's make everything nice and black. And I have orange somewhere. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Cool. And the notch is kind of in the way. So the way we build this is you can resize the play container as you wish. I'm gonna keep the play container like this, but I'm gonna add another view which will be actually a safe area view. Safe area view. To make sure my real set is not overlapping. See, I can type. Not overlapping the notch. Texting. Why is it like that? Actually, new plan. have a feeling my real set has some, oh, because not sure about that. Anyhow, that's nicely laid out there. Okay, so first thing I want to do is, it would be cool when one real finish spinning, it would kind of blur out, like let the user know that real finish spinning. So in order to do that, what we need to do is, in our real component, we're gonna have this dot symbol refs, which is an array. We're gonna collect references to each symbol. So I'm gonna do a ref, which is a ref, and this dot symbol refs index equal ref. So now the real has a reference to each symbol, and in the symbol I want to set a state. This dot state will be active by default true. Okay, and in my image, what I'm gonna do is opacity, and based on the state, so this dot state dot active could be 1 or 0.3, and gonna expose a method which is set active with an active, and do this set state active. Cool. Okay, so we have the scroll by offset method, which is the heart of the whole scrolling, and here what we can do now is do a for loop, not school, let e equals 0, e less than constants dot, how did we call it yesterday, symbols, so the number of symbols on the real, symbols, e plus plus, and what we can do is this dot symbol refs, this dot position plus e set active fast. Cool. So what this should do, besides giving us an error, unexpected token in symbol.js on line, what was it, 59, we don't even have 59, and then I have a feeling that, okay, of course, these error messages are not necessarily useful most of the time. Okay, so if I spin this, you can see these are lighting up. The problem is when you spin again, these are not lighting up again. So let's fix that. Do the same thing before the scroll, and set active true. Cool. So that's one thing I want to do. So we can nicely, the lights are going down, and when you spin, it's lighting up again. Okay, cool. Cool. Now another thing I want to do is add a callback to this, and in my real set, when I'm doing scroll by offset, I can just pass in this callback, which will be something like this. This callback gonna get a index, a real index, actually, real index, and result. results. Yeah. So we passed in the callback, and after all this happens, we can just call the callback with this dot props dot index, and we need the results. The results will be the symbols visible after the spin. So I'm gonna do a let results equals string and results dot push this dot real symbols this dot position plus I, right? And that's here. Okay, cool. So after each spin, this callback gonna receive the index of the real and the results. Now I needed this reals in motion equals null, and this dot spin results. My naming is pretty off. Okay, so when the spin starts, we're gonna set this dot reals in motion equals constants dot reals. So all the 4 reals are in motion, and when we receive 1, so 1 came back, we're gonna do this dot reals in motion minus equals 1, and we're gonna do this dot spin results real index equals results. Now what we need to do is, if this dot reals in motion equals 0, so all of the reals finish spinning, we're gonna do this evaluate results. This dot evaluate results. And for now, let's just console.log this dot spin results. So this should give us like a matrix of symbols. Let me inspect console. Cool. Do a reload here. Okay, what's happening? Okay, let me add this React Native. Cool. Don't know why it does that sometimes, but it's kind of annoying. Okay, so spin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we received a list which is on the first reel. We should have bell cherry, dice grape lemon, dice grape lemon, dice grape lemon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we have the callback, we have the results, we have everything to evaluate. Before we do that, so yesterday when I did the reel, I put the same set of symbols on every reel. It's a very bad practice, and I pretty much just randomize the symbols, so there is no no maths behind it, no probability, nothing like that. So I did a little bit of calculations last night, so I came up with a set of reals. that works. So let's use a different set of symbols on each reel, which should be very simple. So I'm just gonna do constants dot what was it, real symbols, and this dot props dot index. So that should render. Cool. Okay. Also, what we need to define, and I want this to be as dynamic as possible, is the winning lines. So with old school games, you have lines like, you know, like 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, but that's not very exciting. In much more modern games, you have, you know, all sorts of weird combinations. You can vary it based on the bet the user makes, and you know, you can have fun with it. Anyway, I defined a couple of lines. I don't want to bore you with it really, but let's define them as constants here. So the way these are structured is the lines are a list, and each list is a list as well, and each element of this list has 2 coordinates essentially. The first coordinate is the real index, and the second one is the index on the real. So what this one says, 0 0 here, 1 0 here, 2 0, 3 0, 4 0. So this one is the top line, and we have middle line, bottom line. We have a V shape like this, we have a V shape like that. We have funky W shape, so it's like ping, 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 ping. I defined, I believe, 15 different lines. We will see how it works. So we kind of want to end up with a slot machine that makes the user win enough times, but not always. So we're gonna have a play with these lines towards the end. But for now, let's have this. Okay. Now evaluating the real, which is the fun part. The way we do it. Okay, so I need the real set and need evaluate results. Okay. First of all, I want to keep a list of winning lines. I'm gonna, before evaluation, I'm gonna you know, reset the winning lines. This list is gonna contain the indexes for the lines that won, right? Okay. So let's do a for loop. Let line index equals 0, line index is less than constants dot lines dot length, and line index plus plus, and inside that we're gonna loop through each coordinate. Let coord index equals 0, coord index is less than constants dot lines dot line index dot length, and coord index plus plus. Pretty simple. So let the coords to be constants dot lines line index coord index. Okay. And let the symbol at coords equals this dot spin results coords 0, so the real, and coords 1, right? Okay. So we need a streak. So what we're gonna do, we pay out for the user if any of the line has at least 3 of the same symbol, right? So we're gonna need a streak which is currently 0, and I'm gonna have a current kind which is null. So current kind is the streak, the symbol of the streak, essentially. So if chord index equal 0, so we just got into a new line. So if symbol at chords equals dice. So I want to use the dice symbol as a scatter symbol. So dice can't have dice is gonna trigger like a bonus play, but they can't have a streak. They don't have to line up. They can be anywhere on the screen. If you have let's say 3 or more, then you trigger a bonus game. But for now, we're gonna exclude them from this calculation. We set the current kind to be symbol at chords, and we're gonna set the streak to be 1. If it's not the first one, and if symbol at chords not equal current kind, let's break the streak. Otherwise, streak plus equals 1, right? Cool. And here, if streak is greater than 3, greater than equal to 3, this winning lines dot push line index. Cool. And I'm gonna console log this dot winning lines. All right. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so no win here, no 3 of the same symbols. Come on, let's be lucky. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I definitely have to play with the sequence of the symbols and the winning lines here, because it doesn't look like a fun game so far. Or I'm just super unlucky. Ah, here we go. So in line 4 and 13, apparently, we won. So I set up this line. So this is like an inverse V shape, and I believe I have a line which goes ding, 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 and both of these have 3 symbols on it. Okay, cool. So we have a set of winning lines. We want to kind of highlight them. So I'm gonna create a highlight winning lines. Okay, so I want to highlight them for, let's say, 750 seconds, or like a second, and then low light them again. So each line, so it will be kind of a recursive function. So I'm gonna pass in a current index, which will be a recursion counter, essentially. So we know where to escape the recursion. First of all, if not this dot winning lines dot length, so if there are no winning lines, just return. I'm gonna call this here, this dot with 0, so 0 iteration. If the current index is greater than 0, so it's the second or later iteration, we want to kind of turn off the lights on the previous line, if that makes sense. If the current index is greater than this dot winning lines dot length -1, and just return. Otherwise, we want to highlight lines. Okay, so constants dot lines, this dot winning lines current index dot map, and this will have an element. This reals element 0 dot okay, so we need to expose a highlight at index, which should call this dot symbol refs, this dot position plus index dot set active, and highlight, which will be a boolean. Okay. So this gives us the real, and we need the position, so highlight at index position will be element.1, right? And when we are here, so here we're gonna turn off the light on the previous line. -1. That is not how you call functions. So here we want to turn it on, here we want to turn it off, right? Okay, and what we're gonna do here is do a set time out with let's make it 800, which will do this highlight winning lines current index +1. Okay, I think this might work, except there are syntax errors. Oh, actually, okay. So let's keep spinning. Do I still have my console log? I do a console log. No luck. This will be a bit difficult to debug until I figure out the correct real structure. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you see it was highlighted. I want to hit like a multi. Okay, so this line is a hit as well. I want to see multiple hit. Ah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nice. Winning. Okay. Cool. So that is something, but not very exciting. So if you see our original game, it does all sorts of crazy stuff. I promise we will get there, but let's just do something. Yeah, you know, it does like all these like very flashy stuff. Let's just do something bit more along the lines of React Native. I actually figured out how to do like flashy like explosions and stuff with sprites. We're gonna do that later on. but for now, let's just add a nice effect to our symbol. I'm gonna call this effect shake. So we want to shake our image. So I'm gonna do a animated value here, and I'm gonna do animated, and animated dot value equals 0, and I need a new from there. Okay, so we're gonna animate this image, and we're gonna do in the style, gonna do a transform and symbol animation, symbol animation. So we're gonna do multiple animations here. What I want to do is scale the symbol up, so slightly scale it up, and then like shake it a little bit, if that makes sense. So we want to animate the scale, which will be this dot animated value. I'm gonna animate the value between 0 and 1 because I want to use the same animated value to use two different animations. One is the scale, one is the rotation. So we need to interpolate it in a way that we have an input range. I want to go 0, 0.25, 0.5 and jump to 1. So for input and output range should be 1, go to 125, then jump back to 0.75 and back to 1. So it's like it's, that kind of thing. And our other animation will be rotate. Same thing, we're gonna interpolate. So I want to kind of shake it between, I don't know, just shake it a little bit back and forth, but multiple times. So what I'm gonna do here is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 0.9, 1, and rotation expects the degrees, so I'm gonna do 15 degrees. It should move it actually counterclockwise, then back to 0 degrees, then minus 15 degrees, which is very different from 345 degrees, because that would rotate completely, but minus 15 is actually tells the engine to go clockwise. And repeat these, and minus 15, so how many is 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so minus 15 go to 0 degrees, so to go to 15 degrees, and it's important to go back to 0 degrees. Cool. Okay, so we have a nice shake animation, symbol animation. Okay. Oh, what was that? Undefined is not a constructor. Animated value 0. Oh, it's a capital V. Oh, this dot state dot animated value. Did I even call it animated value? Yeah. Cool. That was working for a second. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so that is working. Now on our reel we can expose a shake at index kind of situation. So we have highlight at index and we have shake at index. Doesn't need anything like that, and do a shake. Well, one thing we actually missed is the actual shake method. It's same as yesterday, animated.timing, which receives a this.state.animated value. To value is 1, and duration will be 750, and here we can do set value 0 before anything, and I almost forgot use native driver true, and we're gonna do a start. We don't need a callback anymore. Okay, so we have the shake at index, which we call shake on every single element, and the only thing we need to do is when we are highlighting, we also gonna do this reals, well, do this shake at index L1, and notice that we do the recursion every 800 millisec, and our animation is 750 millisec. I think that should work out perfectly. Cool, let's see. Oh, winning. Yay. Cool. Come on, give me something. It doesn't seem like it's my lucky day. Ah, here we go. Yay. Okay, cool. I think this is gonna be it for today. So as I said, tomorrow I should have like proper design. So we're gonna dig a little bit into how to convert the Zeppelin slash sketch design into on a pixel perfect React Native design, and we're gonna move our real set into that design and get from there. I think the main engine is getting there, so we know the winning line. Based on that, we can calculate the winnings. We still have to code the scatter symbol, the dices, and come up with a nice bonus game. Maybe we're gonna add an option to, if you win, maybe we're gonna add an option to gamble, double or nothing style. Yeah, but besides that, we are getting there. So I'm gonna try to upload a new video tomorrow. I can't really promise it. It's Sunday. My girlfriend is not working, so I have to do like social stuff. But yeah, if you like the content, please subscribe and leave a like, or just leave a comment. Again, it kind of just encourages me to make these videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.